Okay, here we have our supplies. We've got 6 cans of spray foam, 4 cans of spray paint. We've got some PVC cutters, a hole saw, putty knife, drill, and a PVC straw for the top of it once we get it built. On this, we're going to cut a hole for the straw and then use a bunch of screws in the back to affix the foam to. Okay, what we're going to do is stand this pipe in the middle, and we're going to draw a circle around it just for the saw. And this, I don't know if this is the best way, but we're just going to drill that out and use that as a base to put the straw through. And then we're also going to put dots where we're going to screw in some screws so the spray foam will have something to hold on to. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to keep it on that center raised area, and that will give the foam something to hold on to, and so it won't be so slippy off the top. Okay, now we're going to drill out the base for the straw that comes out. Okay, now we're going to just screw in some screws for extra support. Use your hand and hold the screw when you do it.
Like right there?
Like a timer up there or something. So we're just going to turn this over, and there's our little spike strips that are going to hold on to the foam, and there is the straw that we're going to trim to fit. So now we're going to start the spray foam process. Okay, so here we have exactly 3 cans of spray foam, and it is still incredibly wet, as you can see. Jello, jello, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So we're gonna wait 12 hours, come back, see how much it expanded, and add the other 3 cans, and then continue the project tomorrow. See you then. Okay, it's the next day, and as you can see, foam is hardened, and it did get quite a bit taller. I'd guess that was at least 8 inches tall. 3 cans so far. All right, we're gonna do the other 3 cans and let it sit. That is the last of the 3 cans from today, for a total of 6 cans, and it put another few inches on it, but it's probably going to grow by another 4 inches by tomorrow. So we'll record again and keep you posted. Okay, here we are on day 3. This is 6 cans, I think, of spray foam, and we opted to get 3 more. I don't know if we're going to use all 3 of them, but we're going to put 2 of them on there in just a minute and kind of try to build it up to more of a point instead of a plateau. And then we've got the glitter and spray paint tomorrow. We'll probably do once it sets up. We are back again a few days later. Unfortunately, we've had some pretty bad weather in Florida, and so we had to put a pause on the creation, but that gave the foam plenty of time to cure. And so now that it's cured, what we're gonna do is cut off any of the areas that we don't want, kind of like this. I'm not sure what caused that to do that, but we'll just remove it. And we've got our spray paint, our glitter, measuring tape, knife to cut the foam, and some painter's tarp, just so we don't get the trash can all colored with the spray paints. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and measure to see how tall, because this actually is not 6 cans of foam like we had originally start with. This is actually 9 cans of foam, just due to the fact that it wasn't lifting as high as we wanted. So that looks to be almost 2 feet. Looks like 1'10" roughly. Oh, maybe not. 1'8", but big enough for what we need it for. All right, we'll be right back. First thing we're gonna do is cut off the areas that we don't want. Using a carpet knife just because it's big, it's sharp, and it works. Okay, so I actually don't mind the overall shape since shaved ice is more or less misshapen anyway. So now I think what's left is we're gonna measure out how big we want each color on the dome, and we're gonna tape off the bottom trash can. So I'm just gonna set it down and let it record while we do our thing. Okay, now that we have put some painter's tape on the straw, we are going to put just a little bit more and then see how that looks. Unfortunately, this pipe has quite a bit of printed information on it. So we're gonna take some white paint and just spray over that real quick. Now the next thing you need to do is decide what colors you're going to do in which order. And I think in this we're going to start on the right hand side here with probably a blue, and then go to green, and then yellow, and then red. So now we're going to start the paint. Go ahead. And we're going to do our best to get into all the nooks and crannies as best we can without spraying so much that the paint just globs and runs down and makes a streaky mess. And quite honestly, this may take more than one application to get it all, and that's okay. And we left a little overlap area for blending. And this is obviously going to take more than one coat because there is a lot of nooks and crannies, and you just really can't get them all that well without it pooling up and running. So we'll spray a good coat, let it dry, come back and do it again, and hopefully it won't pool and run. Now we're going to do the green. Okay, so got the first coat of the green on, looking pretty good. We are fighting the rain right now again, unfortunately, so we may have to call it quits after the next color for a little bit. But I think it's looking really good. Now let's go ahead and try the yellow. It's gonna be harder for the yellow because it kind of blends in with the foam a little bit, but oh nice, it's neon yellow, even better. Our red, our yellow, green and blue, and we put another coat of white on the straw. So we're gonna put this thing back in the shed, let it dry, and we'll put another coat on either later today or tomorrow, depending on if it rains. Okay, so we're back. The paint has dried for the first coat, and so now we're gonna do a light second coat with the glitter. We wound up putting some spray adhesive, clear spray adhesive, on top just because the wet paint was not grabbing the glitter and holding on like we thought. We just used some tacky spray. I don't know how well that'll hold up, but that is what we used. Now we're gonna finish the straw by removing the tape that we used to block off parts of it. And then we're gonna put some more tape on it and actually make the straw pattern. I'm gonna paint the straw. And now we're gonna just remove the tape that we just put on. we're gonna put some sprinkles on it. Why not? A little more spray adhesive. Okay. All right. Okay, well, that pretty much completes the top portion. What's up next is gonna be the vinyl. And quite honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna film the vinyl for this video or not, since it's not really part of this particular design. The vinyl can be done in any way, shape, or color based on your logo and designs. So I'll do one final clip once it's dried and we've removed the plastic, just so everybody can take a look and see what the final outcome was. Thanks. Okay, here we are the next day after everything has set and dried for about 24 hours. And we are basically looking at the finished project minus the vinyl. The vinyl will be cut later. I just couldn't decide on what design to put on the cup. So I'll figure something out, maybe give an update later on. But all I need to do now for it to be completely done at this point is to make some sort of latch for the lid so it doesn't get blown off in high winds. I'll probably just use some sort of bolt or something to lock it down. Maybe a bolt with a washer and a nut, probably simple enough. But let's go ahead and remove the plastic and get a final look. Yeah, not too bad. So just to recap, this is just a PVC pipe. Bought it pre-cut from Lowe's. This is 9 cans of spray foam, put on 3 at a time with about 12 hours of curing time in between each set of 3 cans. Then you have the colored spray paint, and then we also have the glitter. I did use some spray adhesive for the glitter, just a light coat, and it seems to be working. So I may have to add more glitter later, but looks good enough for right now. I think all told it cost about somewhere between 60 and 75 bucks. The biggest expense was the spray paint and the spray foam, but I already had the container. That container is actually a Southern Snow syrup mixing container. Never used it, and it was just gathering dust in storage, so thought, why not? Let's look on the inside. If you remember, I was concerned about the top of this thing just sliding right off. And if you recall, I put all those bolts, or I guess screws, in the bottom, and it looks like the foam actually came through and grabbed the pipe, which is nice. So once I get something on there to secure the top with like a bolt and a washer or something, it'll be good to go. Thanks for watching, guys.